Welcome back to Not Alone with Melissa Sue Methvin. Today, I'm going to be sharing how to listen to your body. Your body is your biggest messenger, and it's really trying to speak to you. And I wrote about this on my first book, The Truth Behind the Smiles, where I started noticing that when I was suppressing my emotions, suppressing the fear, suppressing all these sadness, loneliness, it started showing up in chronic illness, gut issues. I talk about that, at fatigue. So your body is your messenger, but oftentimes your mind has a hard time catching up to what that message is if you don't make the time to listen. So the way I am going to explain it is for some of you that have had a baby. And if you haven't had a baby, maybe think of like a pet that you've had, but I'm going to use the baby analogy. Now, when I had my babies, they can't talk, they can't communicate with you. So I intuitively look for their body language. I intuitively just kind of know by a feeling what my baby needed. Were they hungry? Were their stomach hurting? Were they tired? Were they just needing comfort? Now, this is what I'm trying to explain is that your body is not speaking to you in the English language or whatever language you speak, but with any of these emotions that you're feeling, this like, I'm not sure about this, or this resentment, or maybe starting to have some gut issues. Or for me, like just for example, a couple weeks ago, I don't get sick very often anymore. And I really got sick. So then I started, and I know that's God up there. He's telling me, there's something you're not willing to listen. There's a truth you're not willing to see. So I'm putting you in a timeout. That's literally what I think about when I was sick couldn't talk. I lost my voice for about 3 days, completely lost my voice. So it was God telling me, I'm putting you in a timeout and you're going to go inwards. And I knew that. I knew there was a reason why I was sick. So I did go inwards. I started doing all the protocols that I know on a cellular level to heal myself. I knew I was like, okay, I was completely depleted on a cellular level. Your cells produce the energy. So I was completely depleted. And so I started doing all the protocols that I know. I drink hydrogen water. I do breath work. I meditate. I pray. I sauna. But one tool that I added on this time that I'm just kind of blown away to how fast this worked, and it was exactly what I needed, was the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. I did 4 sessions. And in those 4 sessions, the boost that my cells needed allowed me to now have so much clarity with everything else I'm doing with eating clean and just taking time to rest. I got better. And as I got better and stronger, I also got clear. And in that clarity, I wrote 5 more chapters for my book that was almost done called The Gut-God Connection. My editor, we were on round 3, and I kept waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I know when my mind's been waking up, at that time, God's waking me up at that time, there's a message. So I start writing without editing. I just kind of write and write what's coming in. And I came to my own clarity as to why I got sick. What was the message? I wasn't willing to see this truth. And that truth was an old pattern from generations and generations. But I'm just going to take accountability. My own pattern was coming back. An old pattern that I said I'm not going to do again was coming back. And I wasn't willing to see it. So God got me sick, or whatever you want to call it, life force, divine energy. it got me sick. So I can sit and reflect on that message. And my mind takes a while to figure it out. But you know how you want clarity? You want a clear mind to understand what those gut instincts mean is you have to work in your body on your cellular level. So giving it back the nutrients that it needs. And your body is screaming for that nutrient, for that clarity. So the more that I gave myself rest, breath work, connecting to God in that spiritual practice, but I wanted to give it that extra boost because I was just like, what is that message? What is it? I knew it was a big one. I was like, okay, being consistent with drinking my hydrogen water, consistent with all the minerals. So I have this little elixir that I've created in my kitchen that I mix up, and I just know on a cellular level what my body needs. So I take that. I cut out coffee. I cut out anything that is really going to deplete me on a cellular level, which was really hard. I love my coffee in the morning, but I started noticing that it was not beneficial for me first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. So I find that if I've already eaten, have it later on, that it's best. But for now, because I wanted that clarity, I had to remove anything that was depleting my cells. And that's where I came to realize that it takes your mind a while to connect to what your body is saying. So give yourself grace, give yourself the time, but also do the work for your cells to give them that boost. Because gosh, after I came out to at least 3 sessions of the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, that clarity was loud and clear as to what the messages were. And I was in awe and also grateful for that message. And now I have that awareness. I can integrate that and make some changes. And a lot of it is that I was starting to be off balance in my life. And we're constantly trying to find balance in our world. It's never black and white. I was kind of kiltering off balance. So I need to kind of rebalance in my relationships, food, environments, and just all aspects of my life. It's kind of, I say, for me, I'm trying to come back to wholeness through balance, because balance is love. So when I'm an overgiver and I give, but don't make time to receive or allow to receive, then I'm off balance. And that's where you can get depleted and sick. And there's so many other examples where you can get off balance. I just think of when you're so good with your diet and all of a sudden, the holidays come, which they did, and there's more drinking and there's more sugar. All those things deplete your cells, plus stress. How many of you were, stressed getting ready for Thanksgiving hosting and dinners, and you're like, oh, gotta have everything perfect and everything good, and you run around like crazy and you don't have time to eat properly. You don't have time to rest properly. And then comes Thanksgiving and more eating, more drinking, more sugar. Well, it's like that perfect storm. So no wonder I got sick after. So it just reminds me on a constant basis to keep that balance, because my body will start speaking. And ultimately, I want to live a healthy life with vitality and energy like I feel right now. Right now, I'm like, this for me feeling this kind of energy and health. This brings me joy. Finding that balance is joy, peace, and calm that we're all seeking. We don't want to be dragging every day. How often I know I felt where I'm wake up exhausted. I'm dragging all day, searching for that many cups of coffee to stay afloat until bedtime. But then how do you show up for your family, for all your loved ones around? So it's my responsibility as a mother, as a daughter, and to myself, not to deplete myself, to stay in that balance so I can keep showing up as the mom that I want to be, the daughter that I want to be, the person I want to be, my grounded in my values. Because when we're off balance and we're completely exhausted, you're probably not the nicest person to hang out with, to be realistic. And it's not you, you're just depleted. And so I'm just asking you, when's the last time you asked yourself, what is my body trying to say? Sit with that. And if it's really hard to find that answer, then I definitely would recommend some of these protocols that I've done. And I will have a program that brings this protocol together to life because I live it. And then now I also actually just this morning, I noticed my son. He has this one symptom that it went away for about a week. We actually had made some changes and whatnot. It went away for a week, and now we reverted back to an old pattern, and it came back. So I noticed, oh, his body's speaking to me saying, okay, what we were doing was affecting his nervous system, and hence the symptom. So his body is communicating to me. I just had to keep asking and keep observing. So I oftentimes I will document different things. I remember even when my kids were little and my son, he was, I think 3, and a few times he would sleep with me. He had sleep apnea. He literally would stop like breathing a little bit, and I would document when that would happen. And that's why Airway is so important to check, and the quality of oxygen that you're getting so that your cells are nourished. So this is why I've had plenty of dentists on talking about Airway, because oxygen nourish your cells. And the hydrogen tablets that I take too, those nourish your cells. The sunlight. This is why I moved to Arizona. Arizona, the sun. So many people had asked why move to Arizona from Alaska, and now I see it. It's the sunshine. I need it. I was so depleted living for 16 years in Alaska. And before that, it's not like I lived in any other sunny areas. I was living in Vancouver, British Columbia, where it rained all winter. And then I was born in Quebec City. So another, long winter place. But I remember when I lived in Alaska, and we were fortunate enough that we could fly to Maui during the winter, and the energy that I felt and the health that me and my babies would feel, I saw it. I saw that right away. The shift was very evident in my body, in my kids' body, the minute we spent a week there in Maui, in the middle of winter in Alaska. And then we'd go back home, and then again, we'd be so depleted. And I also really noticed it and observed it in our dental office that we had. I observed that our staff, we had over 30, 40 staff members. The staff members that could not afford to get out of the state, when it came to January, February, their morale, their energy was so low, so low. But the ones that could get away, go get some sunshine and come back, they felt replenished. They felt so much better. So the sun, no matter where you're living right now, I remember buying these the sunlights that you can buy, in the morning, and trying to do that and being consistent with that. So maybe if you do live in Alaska, if you do live somewhere where it's winter right now and you're not getting a lot of sun, maybe we're getting one of those sunlights. Or I have a red light therapy panel doing some of these protocols, and be mindful of your nutrition. So be mindful, you might need a bigger boost during those months to find that energy. and for your overall health, for your immune system. So that I've just learned that over time by observing my symptoms, observing and asking why I'm getting those. Now, in the beginning, I wasn't sure why. So that's why I went to the experts. I make appointments to doctors and ask, why am I getting these symptoms? But now I'm kind of asking myself, go inwards, why? And oftentimes now I can come to my own clarity. Yes, I'm definitely not saying don't see doctor, but ask, your body will start to speak to you. And then you can go to the right doctor once you know what it is, because there's definitely things out there that can help you boost your immune system. And there's so many modalities that functional medicine can help you with. And in adjunction, medicine can help rebalance yourself because you're so depleted. So I'm not saying there's wrong there, but I'm saying as a friend, as a guide, from my own experience, my own intuition, is that listen and ask why and get curious. So document. And then this clarity that I'm finding out is just now I can trust my body when I walk into a room and I feel something, feel energy, I feel there's something off. Well, there is. There is, and it's my body speaking. Now, I might not know why and explain why, but I will find out. And I just have to give it time. So this is just a gentle wink, a nudge. Actually, I'm planting a seed is what I'm hoping to do. I'm just planting a seed so that seed could grow into a strong tree. Because ultimately, you want to live in strength, in vitality, in joy, and peace. And that's truly my passion. I want everybody to feel this way, in this light, enjoy life. Life is so much fun. And in that enjoyment, it's almost like a dance to constantly rebalance. It's going to be this ebb and flow. But in this dance that we can do in our life, we can always not tilt her too much and stay in that dance where we stay in wholeness and vitality and health and ultimately in that light. Because I did see when that light completely goes dark, I saw the complete opposite. When my husband died by suicide, I remember I had a psychologist for a very long time working with her, and she's fantastic. I love how she blended faith and therapy. And I remember saying, I don't know what it was. I felt this energy about him scared me, kept me kind of away, especially the last few months. There was something there, this energy. And that's it. He was so depleted. He was so in that dark. His cells had no more light force. And that's why I keep finding more information. And now it's becoming clearer and clearer that the more we suppressed emotions can dim our light on a cellular level. So expressing them, releasing them is so important. These are the root oftentimes, when we're grieving and maybe not processing that, or say, oh, it's too hard to talk about it, too hard to talk about this person. But maybe that's what you need, or maybe just through breath work. Breath work, you don't have to talk. You have to breathe. You have to breathe in oxygen, which would nourish you on a cellular level. And every exhale allows you to release anything that doesn't serve you anymore. And just that alone can replenish your cells. And I've felt that, I've seen that, and I will continue to give this gift of breath because it is a powerful tool on a cellular level and also for all these stored emotions. But this is where I just want to plant those seeds. And if you felt like this really did kind of plant a seed in you and get curious, and you want to share that with somebody else, please share this episode. And I do write a lot about this, a lot in depth in my book that'll be coming out soon. And I can't wait to share it because, like I said, it's just important information because that awareness, once you're aware, you can integrate. You can integrate, and after integration, you can embody this beautiful life. And so I will leave you on that note, and thank you for listening. I'm very grateful.